from the USA. And playing e4. And for most of this speedrun series, I've been sticking with the same set of openings. At some point, I might mix things up. H6 is a move, usually indicates that black is scared of the potential knight g5. The problem with h6, it's a little bit slow to develop the king side. Gives me time to strike in the center. Yeah, maybe we can call this the anti-fried liver. But yeah, black playing really quickly. Pawn c5, attacking the queen. I'm going to take a moment here because there's a few options for the queen. Like check or this. I mean, this would threaten mate. A few ways to make threats. I don't think these moves are so useful though. Like queen here, it's just asking for black to defend and then probably to attack. So I'm a bit more inclined to maybe play a move like queen d3. Just a nice looking square. Queen d2 would block the bishop. Queen d1 look passive. Black playing very quickly here. Now, one point I want to make is that when black plays c5, this pawn can't move backwards. So this square is going to be a probably key square for the knight. If I move here right away, then we trade. But the eventual prospect of knight d5 would be nice. Here I'm actually thinking knight b5 to just threaten the fork. And black could take the pawn, but I would get in knight c7. And sometimes, like, when you're considering a move like this, the opponent will have an easy defense. But in this case, I don't see an easy defense for black. Like, the queen's not on d8, and it's kind of far away from helping out. And king d8, now black has lost castling rights. But this move does, I guess, defend. And now black is attacking e4. f3 is not legal because I'm pinned. So, yeah, kind of a weird spot. e5 looks really nice. e5. I might allow the queen trade though. Like queen e4 would be possible there. And especially with black losing castling rights, I don't want to allow black to trade queens so easily. So what I'm going to do here is just move back to c3. I think the knight served its purpose, provoking the king to move. And now it's just more useful in defending the pawn again. And now, yeah, I'd like to develop. I really want to play bishop f4, but queen takes f4. So I'll start with g3. Attacking the queen. It does allow this, but the plan would be to play bishop f4 and get some attack against d6. I was also going to say that it's very likely that castling queenside will come eventually. Although I can't legally castle here because the queen controls d1. King d7. Black again defending with the king. There's a really attractive move here, which, yeah, generally when you're applying pressure, I mean, obviously d6 is a focal point. You just want to add more attackers. Rook d1 is one option. Knight b5 is an option to move back. But I think e5 is just the most devastating for black. Attacking the knight, attacking the pawn. Pawn is pinned. I'm preserving bishop b5, which I think I'll go for in this position. There was a question, I'll maybe try and answer this after the game, but why I wasn't taking on f7. The short answer is there were more juicy targets or juicier targets to pursue. But I probably could have gone away with taking and would have been fine. Okay, so now I can go for pawn takes pawn or knight d5. Let's go for pawn takes pawn. King f6. Okay. It's very, very close to checkmate. I think it's checkmate in 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is force mate in 2. I'm already controlling a lot of squares around the king. e6 is the one square that's not controlled. But the natural continuation here is knight d5, forcing the king to e6. And then there should be checkmate in 1. Yeah, queen to e4. Nice kind of aesthetic mate. King got a little bit exploitable early on in this game. Yeah, in the final position, a lot of pieces are playing a role in the mate. Bishop, both bishops, knight, the queen. Pawn is nice having on d6. Anyway, this game was a nice example of kind of how to punish a slow opening from black. Like h6 is surprisingly common at this rating level. I think partly because a lot of players struggle with this fried liver type line, like knight g5, etc. So usually what I recommend for players that are scared of the early knight g5 is you can start with bishop c5. And then the queen controls g5 if white plays this. Then you can play this, and then knight g5 is met with castling. But what happened this game was, yeah, I opened the center, got the early lead in development. Black just had the queen out early. And then, yeah, so here, there are a few moments where I could have taken the pawn. If I take it here, then queen takes e4. And this is not what I want. Like with the queen trade, then black is coping a bit more easily. So I moved back to just avoid trading queens. And then here, yeah, I guess I could have taken... I'll be honest, I didn't even consider it. Like sometimes early on, you just want to focus on piece activity and development more than material, especially if the material isn't that valuable. So with g3, yeah, I was really just going for quick initiative, like attack the queen, develop the bishop to attack the pawn, and that led to just a quicker way to win the game. So hopefully everything makes sense. Another smooth game. Question from Lightfullet. Can you please explain knight b5, knight takes e4, and then knight c7? Ah, okay, that's actually a good point. Black could have considered taking. And then, okay, it's not a good move, and we'll go through why, but it's tricky because black is threatening f2 here. If I play this, then king d8, and then, yeah, it's risky to take the rook because then I'm subjecting myself to queen takes f2. I think g3 is actually a nice way to solve the problems, like attack the queen and then just get ready to take the rook the next move. And there's just too many targets in the position. So g3 is a nice kind of in-between move, ensuring that I'm not losing f2.